Coping with difficult times. It's a skill, because when you are living through the disasters, stress, depression, and whatnot that is making you feel bad, you need to find ways to get yourself out of those difficult situations, and there are ways to do that. People who are depressed, they have a tunnel vision, thinking that this is the only way you can resolve it. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel, right? So finding that light and going there and understanding that it's not going to change immediately is a skill. So Karina, meet my assistant Karina.
Hello.
And myself, we are going to talk about coping skills in difficult times. So in this video, you're going to learn what are the coping skills that Ukrainian women use, or our clients, gentlemen, who are brave and smart enough to look for a wonderful Ukrainian wife. So what are the coping skills they use when they cope with difficult times, if they come to those?
Developing emotional intelligence is, I think, the key option for coping with hard times.
Yes, emotional intelligence, and we have a tool for the emotional intelligence. Remember the EQ app. Contact us and Karina will send you either Android or iOS a version of EQ app. The EQ app is a psychologist in your phone, because you can see a problem and you will have the solutions, and that's a very fast way. But growing emotional intelligence is not only using an app, right? Emotional intelligence is about understanding how another person feels, how he may think, what may be happening in his or her world that she is behaving like this. And understanding that this is what's going on, just accepting that it's a stress, this is how she copes with it or he deals with it, and we need to find more solutions. So emotional intelligence is when you can feel for another person. And growing those skills is a big part of emotional growth anyway. And another thing we're dealing, and I already started talking about this, is understanding that a person can feel bad. Giving the time for grief, giving the time for depression. When you lose a job, giving the time for anger. Or even, you know what? There is a place in Kiev where you can go and break the dishes. Have you been there yet?
Not yet.
We'll go. Yeah. We have enough situations when we need to cope with stress. So we will make another video from that place. So, or doing something intense. Maybe doing some sports, maybe doing something that requires physical activity. That is also good stress relief. And when you are in your thoughts and when you don't see the solution, the fastest thing that I do is I go for a walk, for a fast walk. I take a timer and I walk very quickly, so the body moves blood, and I come with a little bit of an idea of what to do. Also, I work out in a gym or I do yoga. So sport is a good stress relief. Do you do sports?
Not yet.
You will. We agreed about that, so yeah. So what else we want to talk about? What other stress reliefs we want to share from our speaking clubs?
Yes, you already said about it. It's changing lifestyles and finding new hobbies and things to do.
That stress relief or that tool is for somebody who had a life in a certain way and then it changed. Somebody died, or you retired, or you are looking for another job. And of course, learning a new skill, educating yourself. Well, of course, when somebody died, that doesn't work. But when you are retired, educating yourself and learning a new skill, learning a new hobby, meeting new people, getting yourself purposefully or intentionally getting yourself to a different place and intentionally doing something different, doing something you've never tried. Like, for example, finding a wife in Ukraine. If you haven't tried it yet, you should try. Well, we don't promise we will find the holy unicorn, but definitely you will have fun meeting a lot of great people, and then you will make your decision. Then you will understand that that's for you, that's your love story, right? Well, of course it was a joke. When we take a client, we make sure we take such a client that we can match. Otherwise, we don't need your money because it's not fun for us. We need to receive the result sooner or later. So, following our reliable strategy is a stress relief, because when you are swiping on different dating apps, it's a stress and it requires a relief, and relief is a matchmaker who's professional, who knows what she's doing. And the coping skill of learning is something that we should do throughout the life, because throughout the life we have stresses, and learning new skills helps us to find different ways, because which ways we know. We have, like your mama told you, this is how you do this, right? Your dad was handling some life troubles, making a face and standing still, for example, right? But when you study, you suddenly realize that there are more ways to do that. Not only like mom and dad did, but like the society allows you to express yourself in many other ways. So learning is a great thing. What's else on the list?
When you have some financial problems, you should change the place and spend less money.
Yes, and this is what women said actually, because there was, see, music. We are in a beautiful area. And now you can see some of Kiev while we're talking about stress relief. Yes, it was a woman who said when her husband got broke, his business wasn't working at all. So she started spending less money. And she changed the entire lifestyle. Instead of going to restaurants, she was cooking at home. She did less shopping. She was buying, just using the stuff she had, and regrouping. That's better say, regrouping and changing your like daily routines helps you cope not only with financial problems, but also, you know, be confident that you will survive. So we have more stress relief thing.
Yes.
Read
yes.
the list.
Well, it's almost the last one, which is psychological help.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite. Because in the Matchmaking Boutique Possible, we believe in coaching, in therapy, in personal growth, and in learning something new you've never tried. Because I am convinced, because I do it myself, and I bring my team to do the same, which is working with coaching. When you can have a safe person to share with, and that's the fastest way, because reading books actually helps, but how many books you should read to deal with one big problem that is affecting you, and you may be getting it wrong because you may think that this is a solution, but the right therapist will find you, well, not will find you. The right therapist will guide you in such a way that you will find your solution. And that person has already read 10,000 books and spent 10,000 hours professionally, and that's why that is effective. So when you rely on professional people helping you deal with stress, then it not only gives you different solutions, but also gives you support, that you're not alone, that you can do it, you can cope with it, you will solve it. And that alone is worth spending the time and making an effort. And when you are looking for the right coach, just tell us about this, because the coaches we use are members of International Coaching Federation. They have several advanced degrees and PhDs. So these are the people that truly know what they are doing. And to finalize, what's your favorite, Karina?
My favorite
Yes.
is retreat.
Ah. So where do you go for a retreat?
I have one person which can help you and me and
Yes.
everyone.
Yes. So talking about retreat, making a trip to a place where you can move everything behind. People go to India, to Nepal, to some islands, some remote places with gurus, and do yoga. I've done yoga retreats. That was awesome, because you do. It brings another idea that it's a bonus if you want, because in everyday life we have a lot of dopamine, and this dopamine hits us with alcohol, with sweets, with some strong emotions that we experience, sex also. So abstaining from those dopamine resources helps us to heal inside. So stop drinking coffee. Stop drinking coffee.
Never.
Stop drinking alcohol. That's why the Lent is for. When you are not eating certain foods, it gives you the dopamine diet. You stop cursing, you stop doing bad stuff, and some people do it for a month or maybe for 2 weeks. When I was on a yoga retreat, we didn't eat hard food for 5 days. And 2 days you don't even drink water, and then you start drinking water, and then you start drinking juices, then you drink some milk, and then you drink fruit juices, and only after the 5th or 6th day then you eat. So your body gets rid of all this unnecessary stuff. So finding the right relief place, finding the right guru, finding the right specialist that will guide you safely, because doing it on your own is not recommended. You don't know. You need to study. You need to understand what you're doing. On your own, you can abstain from alcohol, for example, for a month. That works. But if you want to do something deeper, then it's worth spending the time and finding out who can take you to that retreat and give you that relief. And again, it brings the people into your life. So the best coping skills for, I shouldn't say the best, but good coping skills for dealing with your stress, dealing with your depression, are other people in your life. Finding circles that are familiar to you, that are resonating well with your situation, that understand the support groups. For example, Alcoholics Anonymous, they are strong at healing the problem because they support you. You've heard of them, right? Yeah. So having right people in your life and not becoming toxic when you are depressed, and just disciplining yourself and not burning this dear person that is next to you, but just taking some distance and finding reliable people who can help you cope with stress. What are your stress reliefs tricks? What things do you do to relieve stress? Please write it in the comments to this video, and of course we will respond. Promise. And welcome to join our speaking club again, because we discuss many different things. And this was one of the subjects of the speaking club. And a lot of people have gained a lot of good ideas. I just mentioned some of it because we speak for 2 hours and we really open up. So if you want to learn what's inside of the beautiful women's heads in Ukraine, you join the speaking club and you talk to us. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel and see you in our next video.